I forgot to put us on stage.
We're done. We're
You
done.
know what I just realized, Ollie? In that
What?
intro package thing that plays before we start our show, I just realized that I'm the hello everybody, and I hate that.
Wait, are you?
I think so.
No, that's Randy, because it's Randy, then you, and then me going,
Yeah, I'm the second one. What do I say?
Yeah. I can't remember.
Oh,
I just
God, it's
listened
awful.
to myself
Okay.
saying spicy.
Sorry, I just realized. So that's why I had trouble getting our technology. But welcome everyone for another episode of Got Something For You. This is episode 2. We are doing our recap show. Roy, good to see you in our live chat. As always, we do have our live chat open if you happen to catch us on YouTube or wherever the heck else we're streaming. So make sure you're participating in there as well. We love to hear you're like our additional co-host. Speaking of co-host, Phil is not able to be with us today. He will be back next week. He sends his regards, but we are going to get started. Amy loves all of the intro with all the pics from the gather. I know it is really sweet to get to see everyone, and hopefully we get a photo with Ollie in there soon when Ollie's in the area. I think that'd be great if that ever happens.
At some point.
At some point. Why don't we do a very quick regroup on this week's episode? How's everyone liking it? How are we doing? It was episode 2. We did a rate it through 1 through 10 for the premiere. Let's do a rate it from 1 to 10 for episode 2. Ollie, do you have thoughts?
Yeah, I still thought it was a really good episode. I would definitely give it like a 7.5. I'd give it like this, between the 7 and 8. So I'll be nice to go 7.5. I think it was still a really good episode. We had some moments, had some drama, had a journey, which I actually, for once, I didn't mind the journey. So I give it an 8. I'll confidently give it an 8.
What went from 7 to 8 real quick. Georgette, good to see you in the chat as well. Roy gave it a 9. Roy, that's out of 10. That's like near perfect. So that's awesome to hear. I'm glad you're enjoying the season. Gabe also says that this has been an entertaining season so far. I'm definitely like still intrigued. I think just because I give it a lower number than say like Ollie and Roy, like I still am entertained by it. I think I gave the premiere, I think I landed on a 7 because of Say. This episode to me was like a 6.5, which isn't terrible. It's not bad. Compared to like what my standard. Jay gives it an 8. Okay, I'm excited to get into it with all of you today. Seems like you are all really enjoying the season, very entertained. So Roy says,
Roy, we will get to that. We will get to. Hold on, I want to know who the right person was.
Good question. Why don't we dive right in to today's episode? So real quick, I rearranged the slide order just so I could do that just now. Wow. I hope you enjoyed it. But
I enjoyed it so much.
Kevin, this will follow you everywhere, and I'm happy for you about this. Anyway, so we start off, Mary is like, what happened here? And Say is like, hey, it's okay, we're gonna just move on. I was like, no, BS, it's not gonna happen. Ollie, was this like super awkward to watch? I mean, it was entertaining.
It was entertaining, yeah. I mean, it wasn't awkward to watch because I wasn't the one being in an awkward position.
You're like, I was
it wasn't there, so it was hilarious to me. But I actually think how Mary handled it. I think Mary handled it actually the best way she could. I think she was very upfront and honest. She knew to have the conversation with everyone because not only would Say probably respect that, it then also means like if someone tries to say like, oh, they said this, it's like Mary can turn around and be like, well, actually everyone was there, so everyone else can confirm that wasn't said. So I think that was really smart of her to do. But yeah, I love Say, but in this moment I was literally like, Say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Like, obviously, I think all the other tribes could tell that Say would still hold that grudge. And the thing is, I think she was playing it off rather well, and then she kept bringing up the fact that but you wrote my name down. I was like, come on now. But this is the thing. Say gives great TV, so it's funny as hell. So I love it. So
I mean,
And-
look,
sorry, can we just give a badumch to Jay? Say it.
You know, if any of you have ever watched Glee with the "That's how Sue sees it," unlike "That's how Say says it." Anyway, I'm also really enjoying Say. I think
Yeah.
Say is bringing a lot of entertainment value, and it's like not force. It's not force. She's not putting on a character or anything. That's just her,
It's
and that's
so
why I love it
authentic.
so much.
Yeah.
And I think like her and Mary are, am I going to use the word correct? Good adversaries is like they're good antagonists to each other.
Yes. Yeah, because I think it is kind of like there is a sense of no BS. So it's kind of, that's what kind of makes them good rivals. So yeah, it's definitely, I'm intrigued to see how it plays out. Part of me wants them to get to like not butting it, but I want them to kind of like link at some point because I love both of them. So I would love to see them like work together at some point. I have to wait and see though.
We'll have to wait and see. And it's not, I'm gonna make a comparison, but it's not that it like reminds me of these two players. But like I'm getting flashbacks to Cambodia with the rivalry between PG and Abby Maria. And because it's a very different situation, but what I wanted so bad in those first few episodes was for them to figure out a way to work together, because I thought that would have been so cool. And they did kind of vote together for like the first two tribal councils that their tribe went to. So I hope that we can get that storyline with these like rivals turned. We got it in Australian Survivor last season with like Kirby and Ferris. Like I want to see rivals turned co-workers.
Yeah. The co-work. I love that phrasing, yeah.
Co-worker. Island co-workers. Nice. Also like the Roman Saul thing. They only worked together for one vote, but that was an exciting episode.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. Then we got my least favorite scene, the traits, the humble. I hated it, Ollie. I'm sorry.
Do you not like this picture though of
it's a
David with his four nipples?
Incredible.
You're welcome, David. I knew David. I knew David would love this photo because it's like, come on now, it is a photo. Well done, David.
I don't think I'm ever gonna shake the confessional of him saying, "I wish I could." Did he say something like, "I wish I could have my own milk"?
I don't know. I can't remember. I can't remember. But it does beg the question, Matthew. What are your humble traits?
Perfect. I'm perfect. That's what I put in the quote. I have nothing.
I actually have a humble trait. Really? So my pinky fingers, my pinky fingers bent.
Oh yeah. I didn't know this.
Especially this one. Yeah.
That's a great one.
But I always use the excuse that I'm as straight as my pinky fingers.
Wait, okay. I do have, so I have, it's not, I don't know if this counts as a humble trait, but it reminded me, like one of my thumbs it's the hitchhiker's thumb or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But people have it. Like it's not really that unique.
A mid-humble trait.
I think, Amy, if I'm reading this correctly, TMI, the humble traits thing, I hated this. I did not like this scene at all. Is this what you all mean by we want more camp life? Because I don't understand.
See, I found it hilarious, but like in the sense of like I found it like I did really find it funny when Charity went to Mitch of all people and went, "What's your humble trait?" And he comes back with, "Well, I have this little speech impediment." I thought that was absolutely hilarious, and I thought like good on Mitch for being that quick.
Well, Jay liked it also.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I didn't need to know about the war, but I found it funny. And
wait,
again,
see,
it's one of those like,
to me was the funniest part about it because he said it was a callus.
It was a callus, and I was like, that's not a humble trait. I'm so sorry, Kyle. Regardless whether it's a callus or a wart, it is not a humble trait. This is a humble trait.
That's really cool. Anyway, I don't know. I saw this as a way to fill time for the hour and 90 minutes. You know, like they needed to give them something. Then we have, let's talk about Star. Star finds the beware advantage.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, yeah.
And
Sorry, just Amy said it was bad enough with the Dee's toe thing, the feet thing. At least Dee's toe came back into the story somehow. And I do not think Charity's foot is going to come back into the story.
you
So
never know.
whatever.
Well, yeah, obviously, it's with the whole Star thing. It starts off from where they're talking about the challenge, and Eva's like, "Well, us three can't sit out because of this. You guys were so Star," and I did think that was kind like I understood where she was coming from, but I was a little bit like, "You don't just say you sit," like because I think how it came across, I was like,
I would have been
there's a reason."
pissed. I
Yeah,
would have been pissed off, rightfully so, if I was Star.
yeah. Yeah, because I would have sat there and been like, "So what am I good for?" And like bearing in mind, like, I think I would be the puzzle person? No. Like I don't see that for myself. But I feel like I'm decent enough physically wise to help and benefit in challenges. Um so yeah, and I think it was more so the fact that they had no idea what the challenge would be yet. So
Yeah, it was all
to be able to,
hypothetical.
yeah, so it was kind of like yeah. But yeah, I think it was good on Star to be like, well, then I'm finding protection. So well done for finding the cryptogram. I
Thank
thought it
you.
was
I
good.
keep forgetting what it's called. I call it the spherical puzzle thing.
The cryptogram.
Cryptogram. That sounds so
Yeah.
much more fancy. And this is the prop that I want. I said it last time, but I want the purple version. So if they have that thing where you can bid on stuff for charity,
You're bidding on it.
maybe we'll see. But Star, I was very happy that Star found the Beware advantage out of everyone on that tribe. I wanted Star to find it the most from what we saw of last episode. But she decides to bring in Joe.
Yeah.
And I, you know, when I did the reaction video after the episode on Wednesday, there were some people I saw in the comments saying like it was wrong for Star to tell anyone about it. I disagree. I just didn't feel like Star had many good options considering what we've heard the tribe say of her in confessionals and the skepticism of her gameplay.
Well, yeah, obviously she asks Joe and then kind of tells Shaheen, so Shaheen gets involved because
Well,
Shaheen would be the
Joe
one.
brings Shaheen in.
Yeah, Joe brings Shaheen in, and I think that's where maybe she made the wrong decision to start with. Because, I mean, we will get onto it later, but maybe there was no good choice here. But I think maybe the choice could have been Thomas and Bianca first.
I think it would have been great if it was at least Thomas.
Yes.
I don't know what Thomas would have done with the information, but out of all of those people you just listed, Thomas to me is the one person, as we see here, is the one person that I think would be most likely to hold on to the information and keep it away from others.
Agreed. Yeah, I think he would keep it to himself. And like, I think he is like, I'm sure I love Thomas. I absolutely adore Thomas and how he's playing because I think he's doing things smart, and I think where I worry for him is it's how other people's are going to react. Because I think other people are going to almost be like, no, that's not what you do, and it's like it's Survivor.
Wait, in response to what?
Into how like Thomas navigates the game and whatnot, because it was like this interaction where him and Shaheen, he was like, well, we can just get rid of it.
Yeah, is it bad that I was like, that was such a mild suggestion to me? Like a good suggestion, but the way Shaheen took it, I was like, did we hear the same thing? I was like, didn't it's reminiscent to me of something that like Ricard and Shan did in 41 when it came to like Genie's thing. So it wasn't a terrible thing, but I think that I'm interested to see this in particular, this story build out in terms of like how their game relationship goes about, because like they gave him a confessional where he was like, I'm really caught off guard with how Thomas is going to move forward in this game.
But yeah, it was, and which obviously Shaheen's like Shaheen is on my draft and I love Thomas, so I'm like, but it was one of those, like I agree with you, it was kind of just a mild thing. It's like, well, you don't want, like, if you don't want Star to have the idol and currently she doesn't have a vote, is really what Thomas is saying that bad? Like he's
and
meant,
you're working together. It's
yeah, and it's one of those like even if he's not the one that wants to get rid of it, like I'm sure Thomas would be like, give it to me then, and then we can like literally sit there and be like play pat cake with it, and then at some point be like, oh, who has it? Pretend like, oh, who now has it?
Yeah, I love that
'Cause at the
Thomas
end of the
was like, it doesn't have to be your fault.
Yeah. Like
Gabe says in the chat, Star told too many people.
Mm.
I think once she chose Joe and Shaheen, I do think telling Thomas and Bianca on top of that. Although I can see the perspective of like Star wanting to be the person to tell them instead of letting them find out from either from either Shaheen or Joe.
Yeah.
But I think it was funny when someone pointed out, okay, so you want a 5-person alliance, which means that Eva is the one who you want voted out. Like it all kind of landed on Eva as the target for Star, which we knew.
Yeah.
But getting everyone involved with the plan, it's too many people who know the plan.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, obviously, it's you. The first person you told is probably the one person you shouldn't have, because Joe is going to be ride or die for Eva. And as we saw, I kind of think the confessional we saw from Joe, where he was like, "Everyone trusts me." I feel like that's not foreshadowing, but I'm very intrigued to know what's going to happen now, because I feel like it's almost like he is unintentionally putting his hand in too many cookie jars, and it's gonna come across bad for him, maybe. And I
It's
think
like the
it's
type
really
of
gonna hit him
person he is
hard.
in real life, in the game where things are so confined
Yeah.
and you want to be so many things to so many different people. When you get to that tribal council, you have to choose someone, or a group. Gabe, tell me more about this. I want to see your perspective on this.
I presume what he's referring to is what Thomas would obviously, like when Thomas was saying it, is almost like I think it was assumed that Shaheen would lose it, and
It would fall on Shaheen, is what?
Yeah, and I think
Okay.
that's where his worry would be. But I also think, like Thomas, as you said, Thomas was like, it doesn't have to be your fault. Like I think Thomas was there, like we can play it off like it wasn't your fault, and like it was maybe even Star's own fault for doing something. Like
Yeah, I guess. I also think Shaheen maybe really just wanted to figure it out, which I agree with. Let's see what else. Yeah, Jay says it was inherently a bad move since Sai and Kyle told other people and it worked out for them. Everyone was telling everyone about this thing. So, and that's why I think I do think that the episode, although I'm entertained, isn't as high up for me, because I feel like all of the tribes have very similar, different dynamics, similar issues.
Yeah.
Or challenges, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
We got Wi-Fi. This is the type of like camp life stuff that I think is fun.
I know. And you know what I loved? I can't remember who it was that was talking to Shaheen about this. But when they were like, dig 48, and it was like Shaheen put his like little Survivor Nerd hat on and was like, you gotta dig deep. And I was like, I also love Probes. What was it? Probesty. I can't remember now.
I don't know, but it was such a real. It felt like what someone's Wi-Fi password would be if they were obsessed with Survivor. So I appreciate. Maybe it is one of their Wi-Fi passwords. Anyway,
should have been the episode title.
They had like the characters, they had the numbers, they had a good, strong password. Oh, thank you. Oh, they have 5G.
5G. I know.
That's nice.
With their outlet. Don't forget about their outlet.
Yeah, and they had the outlet, so they could charge all of their stuff. Then we have this incredibly locked in alliance on the I don't know the tribe names. I'm sorry.
Vula.
Thank you. On the Vula tribe.
Yeah, because obviously
this doesn't last.
No. But this is the thing. This is kind of where I was like, okay. Because obviously the boys are talking and it's like, oh, either one of them. And like, I'm actually not gonna dog Kevin for suggesting, like, say, because I think like Say has obviously put herself in a very like strong position. Like she fought hard episode 1 to put herself in a great position. So obviously people are going to clock it. And I think this is where people, obviously she gave too much away to put the target on her back. So I think suggesting it isn't a bad thing. But yeah, obviously they're talking about get Say or Mary out, and regardless if Say plays Ride or Mary goes does it. So I was like, fair.
My thing is I think solidifying them as the majority 3 in the alliance was enough for right now.
Yeah.
You know, like from right before Immunity Challenge, I'm not sure if putting the names of, oh, what are we going to do? Is it going to be Mary? Is it going to be Say? I think that's where things get a little like a little too, it gets the wheel going a little bit more. I feel like at this point, I gotta say also, Kevin was making me a little bit anxious just watching it, like in terms of how this conversation was unraveling. So I do wonder if maybe the talks just went on for a little bit too long leading into the immunity challenge. Yeah, Adrian says this 3 was locked for a few minutes. I do love Cedric also, Jay. I'm really enjoying Cedric also. I love that he brought his Tom Ford glasses out there. I think it's so cool. And I hope they don't get ruined.
I will say there was one moment we'll get to that I didn't appreciate Cedric and Say, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Oh, it's not coming to the top of my mind what it could be. Usually I'm good at reading you, but let's see. Kevin, I guess, shouldn't have thrown out Say's name. Yeah. Jay, exactly. I just don't think that Say's name should have come up before the challenge. But you know, it is what it is. And Say, is this right before the journey? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is right before the journey.
I love this. So was anyone else confused by the rules of how they were going to select the people to go on the journey? Because you got it right away?
Yeah.
I needed written instructions. I needed practice round.
Yeah.
I needed...
That's what they did. They didn't like it.
Allegedly, there was a practice round.
Well, this is... Yeah, because obviously, like, the whole thing was that Vula did do a practice round, and because Say won it, Say was like, just let me go. And then obviously the boys went, well, no, we did kind of say a practice round. And obviously she got a bit annoyed that it then turned out to be Mary was the one that got to go. Which I can understand Say's point in the sense of like, I had the chance to go and you've now just let Mary kind of go and potentially have something. But also they did do a practice round. Like, and unfortunately, Say was the only one to get it straight away. Like, Say understood the assignment. Unfortunately, the rest of them didn't.
That was one of my favorite moments of Say just like running to the boat after winning the practice round. Just basically like, okay, me. Like,
hold on, Amy saying Say suggested the practice round. That's true, she did actually.
Ha! I did not catch that, Amy. Good eye.
Yeah.
I did not catch that. I do think that it was interesting, the choice to not have them decide who goes. And I understood, even though Say at this point is like, I'm locked in with my 4, why didn't they just let me go? I understood the perspective from the other 3, because there would be a higher chance of, it didn't work out this way, but there would have been more of a chance of one of the 3 of them winning to go, leaving Mary off of that. But then, oh, okay. Say did not suggest the practice round. Okay, thank you, Say.
See, Say's telling us the truth. He also, hi, Say, love you.
It's good. It is good to get those facts straight. But appreciate you coming in here
and letting us know.
And also hi. So anyway, the I do see the point, but also Say has an advantage. Or wait, was it played? I'm totally forgetting.
No, she still has the idol at this point. Yeah.
So that would be, if she did get another advantage, that's a really powerful position. And I'm not sure if the other 3 that she was aligned with were ready for that.
Yeah. I think overall it was good that Say didn't go. But I think I understood Say's thing of, if she has this 4, you don't want Mary to go anyway. So I think it was at that point she was like, honestly, rather me than Mary. But obviously it does end up that Mary is the one to go, along with Mitch and Thomas. I'm intrigued to know, what number would you have picked if you'd done that? Would you have just gone straight for 1? Or
either 1 or probably 2, because I, again, did not really understand what they were asking of me.
Yeah.
Gabe says practice round made no sense to me, but like, I don't know. It's good to get on the same page as to what they mean.
Yeah. But we get to this, and I actually really liked this puzzle. I don't know about you. I really enjoyed it.
I did too, because it's one of those ones that you're like, this is easy.
And then you're like, oh wait, actually,
Yeah.
no, it's not.
I think I would get panicked if I had to do something like this. I can't tell if I would rather do this. No, I would rather do this one instead of the thing that Rachel had to do last season with like the weights
Oh, see, I
falling
do
into the
both.
water. It's more exciting, but that was terrifying.
Yeah. I will say, like, they have done a really good job with the journey puzzles.
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously 46 had the logos, which the fan of me obviously was like. And then I enjoyed like the jigsaw one that Rachel had to do last season. And yeah, I enjoy this because I think it does bring a sense of logic to it. And it's not just one of those shuffly ones. I've forgotten what it's called.
Well, like
yeah,
the side
I
puzzles.
really enjoy. Yes, slide
Yeah,
puzzles,
yeah.
thank you.
So Thomas won. I want to make sure. Mitch earns a block a vote. Thomas earns a steal a vote. We spoke about this on the after show. Do you think that if Mary were to win, it would have been an extra vote?
Possibly, yeah.
That's the only thing that I could think of.
Steal a vote, block a vote, yeah, extra vote, yeah. Had to be, or maybe like a banker vote.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, it could be a banker vote. It had to be something to gain another vote.
Yeah,
but I feel like, or well, block a vote's not really gaining a vote.
I think I'd rather have the steal a vote.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have the steal a vote as well because I think it'd be more well. Both would be resume builders, but I think the steal a vote would be more in your face. The block a vote would be more secret.
Because isn't also a steal a vote just also technically an extra vote?
Yeah, but you're taking it from someone else and then they can't vote. So
and then you're using it.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. So they get it. Mary unfortunately loses her vote, which is not great for the position that she is in on her tribe. What is next? Yep. Okay, so she goes back. She explains the story. We get like 3 different, well, actually 2 different, because Mary says the truth.
True. Yeah.
Mitch tells the truth.
Yeah. And
Thomas says no, he didn't play.
Yeah. Which I think fair. Fair.
I think fair. I forget. Someone remind me. I remember last season the castaways were like forced to play, like they couldn't say no if they went on the journey. Did they have the choice here? I can't recall. Bless you.
No, I think they did have the choice. I'm not sure now.
Okay, that's good. Because my thing was if they didn't have a choice and then someone else goes from Thomas's tribe and it's like, you said you were able to choose, whatever. Yes. Yeah. Rome, Annika, Kyle, they had to play in 47. Yeah. I did not like the you have to play thing, but they got rid of that, thankfully, it seems like. Oh, Gabe says
Yeah, I'm glad.
You think that they had to? Once they chose that they were gonna do it, you think that they had to?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe it was like pick a path and then decide. I don't know.
Interesting. Yep, this was Mitch forming his alliance or like a bond with Charity, which starts to raise suspicion from the other members of the tribe.
Yeah, but I mean, I just want to say, I think this was a really cute moment. Because it was more so like Charity really giving Mitch his flowers, which I think you don't really see in Survivor. Like, it's very rare you see someone gain something and people have that sit down and like, I'm so happy for you. Like, this was your moment. Like that I feel like is that really bonded them, which I think is like smart for both of them. Unfortunately, like as you said, obviously there is that little thing called the Alliance Against Charity. So
you made it sound so official. The Alliance Against Charity. Like it has an acronym around it.
The AAC. They are the AAC, Alliance Against Charity.
But it gets them freaked out to the point where they go searching for some sort of advantage and Kyle finds it. Their reaction. I was like, tone it
No.
down. Shh, tone it down.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think Jeff Probst in his like nice little hut, like 2 islands away, would have heard them. Sorry. Love you, David. Love you, Kyle. That reaction.
I was like, that's so exciting. Tone it down.
Yeah, like I'm sorry if no one out like how none of the other people had. They must have been like miles away. Like they must have been on the other bloody half of the island. Like surely,
Yeah,
because
I guess, yeah, because we know from talking to Survivor players that like the area in which to roam, although substantial, isn't that big. So there you go. But they find it, and we do the whole thing over again with the yeah. We got to talk about Camilla. Adrian was so awesome. Do we have the photo?
yes.
Oh yeah, I thought this was
loved
such a
this.
fun idea that like everyone was shouting at the screen like it's listen. But I love that she was like, we tried listen, it didn't work,
And it didn't
and I
work.
was like, ooh, it's like it's a different word.
Yeah, and I love obviously because obviously as people now have figured out, those 6 letters can spell so many words. Like
Yeah.
yeah. So I love that that's what happened, and I loved seeing this scene with Camilla because you saw her brain and actually saw how smart she was, and the fact that she was praised for it, and it really like the fact that it didn't put a target on her. It is like that is amazing. Like kudos to her. And do you agree? Do you think it should have been her idol since didn't work?
I don't know. It's one of those things where I mean, obviously she did the work, and I think that says a lot. We also have to remember that Kyle's vote got sacrificed in this, so I'm sure it does come back once the idol gets removed. But like there's that. I don't know. Maybe, but like I wouldn't. I was gonna say I wouldn't want this to cause a rift for Camilla.
Yeah. No, I think if anything, out of everyone in his alliance, if he would have to use it on someone else, I think if say Camilla was in danger, like I feel like he would. It would be nice for him to use it on her the most, since she did kind of find it for him. Yeah. Like if it came to that, like I think if I was Camilla and I'd done all that work for him, and then it's like turns out, oh, everyone's voting for you, but I'm not going to use my idol on you, I would probably sit there and like.
And Adrian, I'm with you. I think that Loggy's word is silent.
Ooh.
Jay thinks it's inlets.
Inlets. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see.
Okie doke. So good job, Camilla. That was such a fun moment to have. Kyle gets it. It really matches his outfit quite nicely, which I don't know why I noticed that right away, but I think like even the string that it's attached to is actually like the same color of his shirt.
That's his shirt, yeah. So
I loved it.
Maybe it was meant to be. But yeah, Kyle is surprising me. Because I think like obviously episode 1 it looked like, oh, he didn't really do a good job of that, but like first impression. But it kind of does go to show like he was able to turn his first impression around really well on this tribe. So I'm intrigued to see, is this the season where Randy correctly gets a winner pick?
Never. Well, we'll see.
We'll have to wait and see.
We have to
got an idol.
Push the credit onto someone else. Like, no, Randy, you never said that. Anyway,
Josh.
Randy, anything could happen. Adrian says, "Oh, the Camilla Kyle duo is so good."
I do like that. Yeah.
Oh, they're so great. Let's go to the immunity challenge of the day. I like this one a lot.
I love anything war based. We know me.
But this one, the balance beam section, really tripped up Cedric and Kevin.
Sorry, can you just change that? It really tripped up Cedric. No shade. No shade.
I don't think sitting here, I don't know if I can confidently say that it was all Cedric.
Majority. But both of them, yeah. I'll give it to both of them. Yeah, they both, I mean, technically they both failed, so they both sucked. Yeah, that's fair. I know people right. I don't understand people's gripe with the jumping off the big platform. I see people keep saying this, and I'm like, that looks so fun. Like, what is your gripe
It
with
does
this?
look fun. I was with the hardest part of this challenge for me would probably be getting up the ladder. It's just like I would probably slip. But I did think it was funny that like they all had to start under.
Yeah, I liked that was the different thing now.
Then they have to like get up the ladder. It was odd, but I did, if I were there, I would love to dive off of that thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, Adrian in the chat.
Oh,
This
so
was
good.
funny. That moment was funny.
Perfect television.
Yeah, but also, Adrian has actually just said in the chat, like, also Mitch and Eva, like, they really did well. And also Mary, I think Mary really held her own at the start, and I'm glad someone else has mentioned it. But yeah, this was Mitch's episode. I'm going to be fair. Like, he had some really good moments this episode. So well done, Mitch.
Yeah. Oh, and Amy also reminded me of the black eye. Oh
my God, yeah.
Every time, Thomas, I feel like there's like a spiritual connection there because I feel like I would have done the same thing. I would have paused for a second. I would have figured out, am I blind? One, and am I instantly bleeding? And then I love when whoever he was with said no. Maybe it was Bianca. Said Bianca. No. He was just like, okay, just kept going.
No, let's go. Yeah, and I think like that's good on Thomas as well because he's like, yeah, let's keep going, let's go. So yeah, well done for him for that one.
I know he has the black eye next episode, but hopefully it heals. Mitch was great in this challenge. It's great that he had that moment with Jeff, and then it just came like full circle at the end here with him just doing an incredible job, one after the other, scoring for his team. Oh, okay. Jay, while we're on the immunity challenge, Jay disagrees about the discourse. I know that this has been online, that the tribes were unevenly put together. Since the challenges are varied and don't all require brute physical strength, the tribes just need to work better together. I have to say, I don't know.
No, I think that's fair.
I think that's fair too. I didn't see the tribes as being not well put together.
No, I think it's that thing of obviously it's because you see someone like David who's like really strong. You see someone like Joe who looks really strong, and it's like that's all good and well, but we have seen before that sometimes muscle is just a bit like they just got that for show, like it doesn't actually do anything. And we've seen like perfect example for me, Yanu. You look at Yanu, who looked to have a lot of physical strength there with people like Tiffany and Q, but they weren't able to do well in the challenges. Like we saw Q struggle at times. We saw everyone struggle at times. So yeah, I think the discourse in they had a weaker tribe. It's like actually there was unfortunately people just weren't able to work together fully. So
well, with that we do what? Okay. All right.
Fair.
That's fair. Thank you. Yes, and not to mention that unfortunately Green. Wow, what is her tribe name? Vula, thank you. Vula does have to go back to tribal council. I was feeling sad because I do like this tribe a lot.
Yes. Yeah, I really love this tribe. So I hate that to see them go back to back. I am really hoping that they pull the win out next week because I just love to see, I'd love to see a different dynamic. But yeah, I just love their energy.
You are always welcome here. Just thank you so much.
Yeah.
Going back to, why don't we take a really quick break so that I can reassess? I need some water after this water challenge. I'm also just want to rethink about Kevin's dive as many times as possible because it was just 10 out of 10 across the board. And we will be right back to talk about the scramble before tribal council and then the eventual blindside.
Think you're the most knowledgeable Survivor superfan? Well, you can put that to the test with our Fantasy Survivor game. Welcome to Bracketology, fantasy sports for reality TV. We provide fantasy football style games for your favorite shows like Survivor and many more. We also have bracket style elimination challenges. Set your picks once for the whole season to see how your prediction skills fared. And don't forget to check out the season extras like contestant info, where you can see all the bios of each contestant, and our scoring recaps that are published each episode. Download the Bracketology mobile app or play on your computer at fantasy.bracketology.tv. It's entirely free to play, and you can win some awesome prizes. Good luck.
I'm just looking at all of your chat messages. Thank you so much again for just participating with all of us. Love hearing what you all have to say. We go back to Vula, and it's sad.
Is it though?
I was nervous. Because of what we spoke about last week, where Stephanie sort of took on like the "it was my fault" type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cedric went and did that too, and I was it made me really nervous, and I don't know. Again, I wasn't there, so I don't know. I feel like was it all Cedric?
Well, majority of it was Cedric.
Okay.
But this is where I have my issue. Because Stephanie acknowledges and owns her part, and they rip her a new one. Cedric does it. I saw fine. Don't worry about it. It happens.
Is this what your problem?
Yeah.
Wait, that's not Cedric's fault.
No, it was Cedric and Say's fault, and I'm afraid of both of them. But in the sense of like, because in episode 1 it was Cedric and Say, they really hammered in Stephanie on this one. So, for me, it is one of those things where it's like, look, you've still got to admit that he went wrong. And it's the fact that they gave him a different response to Stephanie. And I understand the dynamics were the fact that Stephanie was on the bottom. Stephanie was not in the majority alliance. But no.
Okay, but I feel like it's also everyone else's reactions to that we have to say. You know, if you have a different reaction to Stephanie in the first episode, and if you have a different reaction to Cedric, like that's a you problem.
Fair. But also I feel like it's one of those, I still appreciate that Cedric took ownership. That's not what my issue is. Obviously, Cedric owned it, but it was more so the fact that obviously the last episode, when Stephanie owned it, there was a reaction to it, and then obviously he then did the exact same thing and was expecting a different reaction. That's where I'm kind of a bit like, but again, we will move on from it.
I mean, listen, Gabe is exactly right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, better standing on the tribe. Zans, good to see you. Zans, I think Zans. It'd be great if Say's steamroll style just continues all the way to a win. Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be so iconic.
What a dominant game if it stays that way.
I would love that. It would be iconic.
And I do think there will be a tribe swap, so we'll see how that affects everyone. If that does happen, I'm not sure, but I would hope. I would want to see one.
Yeah.
We don't have the photo of it, so let's just stay on this one. But Kevin again is sort of like, great time to do Say. Great time to do Say. But Cedric is not on board with this idea.
No.
And flips it.
And yeah, and I can understand why, because it's very clear that Say and Cedric have really built this bond, which is really lovely to see. Because you kind of do get the confessional from Cedric saying, like, she is like a daughter to me. So I can understand exactly why Cedric did it. And I think it was smart of him to obviously go to Say and be like, look, here's the... Like, I was not shocked about it at all. And I kind of was like, it is the right move for Cedric. What I found really interesting was he was very open with Say, in the sense of like, he kind of did say to her, like, I want to have my cake and eat it. Like, I want to have the boys and have you. I have to ask how you feel about that first.
Yeah, I was surprised, and to be fair, you're gonna have to. There was a have your cake and eat it too moment on Australia Survivor, with AJ that I'm still trying to like. We watch a lot of Survivor, friends, and if you're watching Australian Survivor, join Ollie and I for those recaps with a former player, Valeria. They're a lot of fun, but. What you have to remind me? Sorry, I can't find it in my notes. What was the have his cake and eat it too moment? What did he want?
So he wanted to obviously still have Say here, and then still have the boys and Mary go, because I think obviously Say was kind of like, well, he's saying my name, so why can't we just vote Kevin? And obviously Cedric was like, no, I kind of want to have my cake and eat. I still want to have this relationship with the guys, but then still have,
I forgot that Mary came up. That's where I was missing. Yes, you are right. And I love that Say was like, well, he's saying my name. Yeah. And I like that she
Which I think is fair.
It's totally fair. In Survivor, absolutely. And it's someone, I think it's even more, Say knows that Mary is against her.
Yeah.
Kevin was working with Say. So I think having the person that's kind of like flippy. Yeah, Gabe, we're not talking about it right now. But AJ had his thing when it was he wanted to vote with Rich, but not with Rich. It was weird. But I see your point.
There was definitely differences here. I will say that.
Very, very much. Very, very much. It was just it's funny that we do have these have your cake and eat it too moments. That should have been the theme of this week.
Yeah, exactly. And I really do want to bring up Say's comment, because I actually think it is completely 100% true, and what I think is like exactly have his cake and eat it too, not taking into account that what works for obviously Cedric is not what works for Say. And I think that is completely true, because my thought process was, I understand why Say would want to go for Kevin, because it's better the devil you know. She already knows Mary doesn't want her. She knows she has Cedric. She knows she has a good relationship with Justin. If Kevin's already kind of flipping and all that, like considering it and wanting to flush her idol, he's clearly not going to be as tight with Say. So I understand Say's perspective here and what she does, because it makes complete sense. It's like, great, have your cake and eat it, but that's also compromising my game. And if there's one thing we know about our lovely Queen Say, no. She ain't compromising it. She's great.
Then it somehow becomes, so it kind of is up in the air. It's like, is it going to be Mary? Is it going to be Kevin? Because that's what's opening. And it's kind of, we have Justin in this as well. I'm for Ollie.
The way you said that was, I'm rubbing off on you, because that just sounded so shady.
It's not shady. I had to check my notes at the same time of like what exactly happened, because this is when
Say starts planting the seed.
Planting the seed. Well, yeah. Saying we got to vote out Kevin. This leads to okay. What?
She doesn't necessarily say she wants to vote out Justin. She's just saying like, oh well.
Kevin.
Kevin. This is where Say's kind of like being like, well, planting the seeds of distrust for Kevin, but actually it grows quite quickly.
Right, you're right. It wasn't like a formed like we're doing this plan. It was planting the seeds.
She's got some advanced fertilizer going on there to make it grow quickly.
Correct. Thank you. Justin, this leads Justin and Cedric though to, we don't have a photo, but they have a discussion of like, all right, what are we doing? And it kind of shows them as like being the one. The edit kind of paints them as being the ones to decide this vote. Let's see. We go to tribal council. Another, I thought, really fun tribal council.
Like Kenzie's quote, is rampant for this first two episodes. I just enjoyed it, because, and what I appreciated was, and I think I would hope Say could respect it, like Mary was matching her energy. Like Say was saying something, Mary was like, well.
It was a good back and forth. It was a really
good back and forth, and there did feel like a level of respect there. So Like, and I feel like I would be the one if I was being passive aggressive to someone and someone else, like, I would respect it. Like, I'd sit there and be like, okay, you're matching my energy. I'm gonna respect that from you because you're not just me. Like, so I loved it from both of them, and it was the moment, and I didn't write it down, but it was when Say was very open about the majority four. And Justin puts Kevin puts his hand down and goes, "You outed us." And then Say goes, "You outed us a long time ago." I was like,
right?
Like, say clock it.
Oh my, that was okay. That was maybe, I wish I got that photo too. That was so good and so true. You know, like it was, and we spoke about that. It did feel like, and I'm not sure if we're allowed to get this information, but it did feel like Kevin was caught off guard in this moment.
Yes.
In terms of, I don't think he knew that Say had any idea of his plan.
I don't think he did at all. And like, I think he probably just felt like it was more like Say would just go. And Adrian, I completely agree. Say, don't get that ego too big, girl. I know we are singing your praises here.
I know, and
we love you.
It's another.
True definition of a mother off.
This is a blindside. This is a blindside of Kevin. He was definitely not expecting to go out. I know. Whose draft was he on? Sierra's draft. Okay. All right. I think this was a surprising vote out for me too. I think you messaged me after.
I literally messaged Matt going, "I am shook F."
Yeah.
I was more so sad, just mainly because, like, for me on Vula, like, my top three were Mary, Say, and Kevin. So when it was all three of them in contention, I was like, no, just because they're my loves. But yeah, this was definitely a blindside. I think you saw it on his face. I think, and I think it shocked everyone because did you expect Kevin to be 17th?
No, but you know what? Someone did put it in my mind. We had Jay West. If you watched Sequester 3 and 4, he was on our reaction video on Wednesday after the episode, and he did message me early in the day being like, just based on the edit, I think it might be Kevin. So I kind of went into the episode being like, could that be true? Like it didn't feel real to me, but it made sense. Amy says it was a true blindside.
Yeah.
Sometimes on the show they talk about someone being blindsided, and then in an interview we hear that they knew that they were in trouble. Yeah. Like Steph definitely knew. As she said, Stephanie knew in post interviews. She knew going into. She played her shot in the dark. Oh yeah, whichever producer put Say and Mary on the same tribe deserves a raise.
Yeah.
I think they're my favorite from what we've seen so far. Maybe it's just because they've had the full episodes with the tribal councils included, but they're my favorite.
Oh yeah,
pairing. Okay,
absolutely.
Ollie, I'm curious to know.
Can we just hold on? Can we just give Kevin his flowers just to say thank you to him?
Kevin, Olympic diver, and go on.
No, I was just going to say, like, I really loved Kevin. Like, I remember when the first promo came out, like, Kevin was the one that stood out for me because I think I remember I was like, this is my first stan. And so I am really sad to see him get 14th, and I hope he doesn't.
70.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't, like, think, oh, so much I could have done. Like, you never know what can happen moving forward. Like, I know he was second boot, but we've seen first boots come back. So I hope he knows how beloved he is in the Survivor community because I think he showcased a lot of potential. So well done.
I think his energy, like he reminds me of a lot of our friends who are Survivor fans too. Like he gives me very much that energy. And it was sad. He also spoke in an interview I saw where he was like, yeah, like you go into Survivor thinking like, oh, I'm going to get to experience this and I'm going to get to experience that. And it is sad that that's not the case for all of the players, as we know. Ollie, I'm so curious to know what you found in our next section. The tribe has posted. Okay, you have the wheels. I haven't seen any of this.
I know, I have the wheels. Also, just Jay, talking about the new era great characters for 17th place. Some amazing 17th places, I must say. Jess, Brandon, and Maddie, definitely. And now Kevin. But yes, the tribe has posted. For any of you that don't know, I stalk every single person's social media right after the episode and get all the juicy gossip. So the first one we have, I do believe, is from Shaheen, which I just found hilarious. I waxed my back for this moment. Icon. I just, that for me was so funny. And then I think the next two tweets are from the lovely Mary, the fashion queen. It's actually someone else has put "Run Mary Run." It's her reply. You've got to take the chicken out of the freezer. And actually, I think I'm so annoyed because there is a third tweet I had, and it was of Mary under the water with the phrase, "When you realise you've got to take the chicken out of the freezer," and this is what it's replying to. Like she did something there. And then her other tweet where it says, things I wear to every tribal council: hoops, my grey sweater, and the face of utter shock and disbelief. I adore Mary because she can laugh at herself, and I absolutely love that. And don't worry, we will be getting to that. The next one here is a little exchange between Bianca and David, because Bianca, my humble trait is getting purpled on Survivor because she only has had one confessional each episode. She has the lowest currently. And David pipes up a bit going, imagine playing Survivor and losing screen time to someone rubbing their third and fourth nipples. And then there is this, go look at this exchange. It is hilarious. You can see the banter. But I won't talk about humble traits because Matthew hates them.
Hated it.
And then Thomas, I put this in because I feel like it's foreshadowing. Some may call it evil. I call it playing Survivor.
Oh.
So, and that was posted after the episode, so I'm very intrigued to see how that goes. And then the next slide. So this is a couple things. I think maybe I have more on the next slide. Star went off. If anyone had seen Star's Twitter, Star, and I see, I wish I had my things now to double check that I had it. But obviously Star found the idol and she says, Siri, play They Not Like Us. And actually kind of says in an Instagram story that their tribe was being mean. And I do have a couple of tweets saying, I mean, I'll just let people read this quickly. But this one I'll read. Vula understood the assignment. Siva understood the assignment. But Laji said, let's gang up on Star. These are your California girls. I won't say it, but you'll know why. So I mean, she's not like she came in hot, and we all know I love spicy Twitter, which is why I love Say's Twitter as well. We will be getting to you. So yes, there was. I can tell people now there were so many more tweets, but go look at their social medias and show them love on their social medias. Remember,
I mean, it makes me sad.
It
makes me sad because I even watching the episode, she got a very different reaction to asking for help with the thing. And yes, we could say like she was on the bottom of the tribe dynamics. But you know, that didn't seem fun.
Yeah. Oh god, no. Well, trust me, I think Star's gonna have a lot more to say. And I do agree with you. So yeah, I do agree with you, Say, what you said in the chat. And then speaking of Say, her tweet. Also, this is why he had to go. Honestly, Say, fair enough. As a swimmer, as a water baby myself, I had a reaction when I did. I love you, Kevin, but I cringed when I saw that dive.
For me, I think the funniest part about the dive was the angle at which it was shot. I saw a few other people dive like this, so I can't just but with Kevin. But it was the fact that you don't see it here, but the feet were flexed. So
yeah, the feet were flexed. The feet were closer to the water than the hands. Yeah, it was. Oh, honestly, I agree. Say I would have voted him out as well for it.
Oh.
But we love you, Kevin. But the final ones we have are Kevin. He posts on his Instagram saying how he loves the game and he's thankful for everyone. And he did put some humor in there. 3 goals this summer: learn to dive, heal my broken shoulder, and make friends from experience with the Survivor community. And you definitely will, Kevin. There was also another Instagram story which I had, and trust me, people, I have so many, like, props to this cast. They give me all the tea on it. Like, they give me all the tea on social media. So I could do a whole segment, and I can confirm he changes his name to Kevin.
That is iconic.
Yes.
And he has you to thank for that.
Yes, he does have you, let's say. Say did also have another tweet saying, thank God there's no spelling bees. Like I said, go look at Say's Twitter.
Wait, Ollie, when I went to that event and I wrote your name on the parchment to win, I even had a moment. Like, it was a fake tribal council. It was a fake everything. And I even was like, oh my God, how do I spell Ollie? I look at his name all the time. So I get it.
Right.
I think being there, that would be the hardest part for me.
Honestly, if I ever get to one of those events, I'm going to write your name wrong purposely. I
can't wait to see.
But yeah, just also there is one other tweet of Kevin's which I haven't put on here,
also,
but it is.
Before you jump, Adrian said Kevin told Mike Bloom and maybe other journalists how he popped his. Is that what it was? Why didn't you just?
Oh, maybe yes, but it was more so Kevin giving actually Mike Bloom his flowers for mentioning about the article, because obviously where it was not included and stuff like it really did kind of. Kevin felt a certain type of way, which is, I think, very fair too. So it was basically giving Mike Bloom his flowers, as we all should, because Mike Bloom is bloody amazing. So well done. But I do believe we are going to the polls now. So for anyone that doesn't know, go check out our X account, Survivor Now Pod. After every episode, we will post 3 polls, and we want to hear what you have to say. So please subscribe to the X account and vote in the polls, because we are always intrigued to know how it goes. The first one, obviously, is: do you have a humble trait? Yes, I'm proud of it. No, I'm perfect. Extra nipples. Award. I already know you put no, I'm perfect, but I can reveal.
I didn't vote on this one. I was too ashamed to put no, I'm perfect.
See,
thank you, Say. We appreciate you, and have fun with the rest of the season airing. We're excited for you.
We'll still be talking about you because you're an icon. But yes, 63% said yes, and I'm proud of it. Be proud of your humble traits, people. Be proud of them. I also love that 13% said a wart. That was hilarious to me. No extra nipples though, so we know David didn't vote in it. Our next poll was: would you get someone to help you figure out the beware advantage? Which I feel like we've really spoken about this, like people helping people and how.
I'm maybe if I needed help.
I'm not gonna lie, I was no, and 60% agreed with me. No, just for me.
Thank goodness no one said yes.
Yeah, like fair. Like, and I understand that maybe if I needed help, but yeah, it was no. I don't know. I'd figure it out. I'd try.
Well, you know what?
My brain would work at some point, like, hopefully.
If you bring someone else in, then that just means that there is an idol. And well, you don't have a vote. Okay, never mind. Yeah, if I needed the help and I needed the vote, I would ask for help. Yeah,
exactly. And then the final one was: what role would you want in this immunity challenge? And I'm intrigued to know before we actually showcase the answer. What? Because we didn't actually say this on the show. What would you want? What part would you want?
My preference order would be the underwater portion. The underwear? Ollie.
No one else knows this until now, people. Wow. Autocorrect did me dirty and I didn't even realize.
Okay, well, I would want the underwater portion because I love being in the water. I love swimming. So I also, I can hold my breath pretty well without panicking. So I will want to do that. Then I would probably suggest myself for shooter next. I do have good balance, but I would be concerned about having to be paired up with someone.
Yeah. That would be the exact same thing for me. Like I've said this so many times on this, but I am a water baby. So the underwater portion, I'd be like, yes, please. And yeah, the thing is, I know I've got good balance. I should have good balance being a dancer, ex-dancer. But yeah, it's the someone else part. I'd be like, I'd probably be saying get frustrated. But I can tell you that 38% actually said the sit-out bench. I'm going to call you all out. You lazy buggers. You lazy buggers. I am in that 25% of the
fun challenge. Okay.
But yes, those
let's
are all
give
the
them the
colours.
benefit of the doubt that they want an advantage if one is there.
No.
Okay. Sure.
No.
Was that it?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, that one really surprised
But we will
me.
have more. Trust me, we will have more because, like I said, this cast are dead. This cast are running away with this season.
Nice.
Thank you. But yeah, the social medias, they are running their social media as well. Let's just say this season.
Oh, I'm really excited. I'm really impressed with some of the stuff that you're able to find, Ollie. So thank you for doing that. As you see here, I'm so eager to see what the heck this scene is about. I am so excited for next week's episode. Like, I'm intrigued. I'm having fun with the season. And you know that we have a lot going on at Survivor Now podcast. I always have to remind you all that on the day that the episodes air, you will see a pre-show where they discuss what will possibly happen. Then after the show, there is an automatic reaction. So you can come join and talk to all of us about what you thought of the episode after it aired. The next day on Thursdays, you have Survivor Stock Watch. But then after Survivor Stock Watch, you also have our recaps of Australian Survivor, Titans vs. Rebels. Gabe, I know you're watching, so we look forward to seeing you there in that live chat as well. A lot of fun, a lot of Survivor. On Fridays, I don't think there is a show. Unless correct me if I'm wrong.
No,
but on Saturday, that's our day off. On Saturday, you come and you join us. Thank you all for joining, Ollie and myself and Phil for Got Something For You. We love going through the episodes with all of you. It's so much fun. And on Sundays, don't forget, you also have Survivor Social with Tegwith and Kara. So make sure you go check out everything we have to offer. And then we start the week all over again. Ollie, any final thoughts to close us out?
No, joking. I've been enjoying this season. Like, with 2 episodes in, but I'm always now excited to see what comes up, and I think props to the cast because I know sometimes people are like, in the new era, people have been like, oh, can I really be bothered to like wait? Like, it's Thursday. Like, I'm there like on a Wednesday night and a Thursday morning, because obviously I have to watch on a Thursday morning. I'm excited, so I can't wait for the next episode already.
It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to speaking with all of you again next Saturday. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to end the stream here, and we will see you all in 1 week.